time to fuel your business success. Welcome to Harmonious at Lunch. We're bringing you bite-sized advice and expert conversations to drive clarity and growth 5 days a week. Make sure you join our Facebook group at humanopt.com/lunch, where listeners like you and our guests hang out so we can find harmony in business together. If you're building a business, you're in the right place. Let's dive in.
Welcome back to the Wupdate. If you're a regular listener and subscriber of this show, first of all, thank you. Love you. Happy to have you here. If you're new, we've been doing this for a while and I want to change it up. So the last couple of weeks, I've been doing a Wupdate or a weekly update. So I recap the first 4 episodes of the week. First, we have guests on all of those interviews. And then this was more of a solo episode where it's just me, a talking head, and I recap all of the things that we talked about, any behind the scenes stuff that happened to the guests. I give you my feedback and learnings from the guests. That's cool. I kind of liked it. I kind of didn't, but I didn't really have a better plan at the time. And then I just decided, you know what, I don't think that's adding enough value to you as the listener. And I want to make sure that that is my sole focus. Like, that's all I care about. If you're going to spend the time to put this episode or this podcast in your ear holes, I better be providing value to you. So that being said, I'm going to change this up a little bit. I want to keep these Friday episodes or the Wupdate episodes, if you will, as short and concise as possible, and just give you the high level. What is my focus for the week? What did I learn? What are my takeaways? And see if that's of any value. It's not necessarily going to be about the guests and about the episodes from that week, but it'll be a real time of like what's going on, what's really happening in the world of business. So that being said, the other thing too, I just want to be transparent. As you know, on this show, it was so much work to put together those Wupdate episodes, going through the clips from the listeners or the guests, finding the right clips. We produce about 20 plus clips for each episode. So I had to watch all of them. Then I had to go and find the thumbnail. And then I had to do a summary of all of the episodes and refresh my memory because I recorded them a couple weeks after the week was actually done. Anyway, long story short, way too much effort. And that is not what I'm about. I'm all about efficiency, speed, productivity, and value. Let's bring it back to that. So that being said, this week, I watched a clip that totally changed my life and the way I think about business. Man, how's that for being dramatic, right? But it was Mr. Wonderful, Kevin from Shark Tank. And it was this video talking about signal versus noise. And he was talking about how the best entrepreneurs, the most successful entrepreneurs, are really, really good at getting clear on what is signal and what is noise in their business. Think about this in terms of, I'll tell you what they are. So signal is like, what's going to move the needle in your business? What are the things that you need to do that actually get you closer to your goal? Noise is literally everything else. Only you can really identify those for you and for your business. But it's like the working in your business versus on your business, right? That's a loose metaphor for how I would perceive this concept. But the example he gave was Steve Jobs. Now, love him or hate him, doesn't matter. Kevin actually gave an example in this clip, and I wish I had it to play for you. I'm sure you could look it up on YouTube. But Kevin gave this example of how he was selling software products to Steve back in the 80s or 90s. And he basically called Steve Jobs an a-hole because of the way he treated him. And in the moment, he said that was something, he really believed that. Like, Steve was just being a jerk and he wasn't a fan of working with him. But later down the road, he realized he had this signal versus noise realization. Like, wow, he might have been a jerk. Like, there could have been a better way to handle that. But that dude is so clear on exactly what's going to move the needle. And he's really good at ignoring everything else. And he said that the sort of ratio that he observed Steve Jobs to have was about 80-20. So he would spend 80% of his time on signal, needle movers, things that are going to get him and Apple ahead, and about 20% of the time on noise. And he said that's sort of the ratio that successful entrepreneurs have, successful founders have. The only person that outdoes that ratio is Elon Musk. He said Elon Musk is pretty much 100% signal. Like, that dude's just crazy. I'm not advocating that you get to that point either, by the way. But I kind of took a step back and I looked at my own calendar and I was like, wow, I mean, I might be like 40% signal. Like I've really let it slip lately. And that's just me being honest. And there are weeks where I can think back and it's been less than that. It might be 0% signal. Like that's embarrassing at this point for me. I don't know what it is for you. And I'm not saying you should feel embarrassed or ashamed of or anything like that, but it radically changed how I look at my calendar, my days, and how I set things up. And I'm in the process of building a ton of automations. Some are AI, some are agents, some are just simple automations and workflows. And I even paused that and I was like, are the things I'm automating even necessary? Like it's cool to automate things, don't get me wrong, but is it a waste of time? Does it even need to be automated in the first? Does the process need to be done in the first place? And for some of them, it was no. For others, it was yes. And I proceeded to do them. But I wanted to take a step back and say, okay, where am I right now? Am I spending time on the signal or am I spending time on the noise? And that's something that I would really encourage you to take a look at this week and say, or next week, whenever you're listening to this, am I spending time on things that move my business forward? Am I spending times on things that only I can uniquely do for my business or for myself? Or am I spending time on the noise? Is this something I could delegate? Is this something I could even put off till later? Is this something I could just not do entirely and really nothing would change? Spend some time thinking about that and getting everything that's noise off your calendar, off your plate. Not everything. You don't have to be Elon Musk. I'm not being that dramatic, but spend time getting things off your plate because you will be happier, you will be more productive, and you will get closer to your goals faster. So that's the tip for this week. That's the weekly update from Harmonious at Lunch. I appreciate you being here. Signal versus noise. Make that distinction, make that delineation, and figure out a ratio that you want to stick by. If you're at right now, if you're looking at your calendar, you're like, wow, I'm like 10% signal. Well, don't try to get it to 80% next week. Don't be foolish. But maybe get it to 15, get it to 20. And then the week after that, get it to 25 or 30. And slowly, incrementally move that needle up and get closer to the things that are going to move your business forward 80% of the time. And then you will see a massive, massive change in your business. If you want figuring out what are those things that are going to light you up and move your business forward, I would encourage you to go to humanop.com, download our app, or go to the App Store on whatever device you're on, search Human Op, that's Human OP, one word, download our app, and then you can interact with our AI chatbot, and it knows you better than you know you. It'll actually help you understand what are the things that are going to light me up and move my business forward. And if you do that and you make that your sweet spot, your business is going to change and it's going to look dramatically different and way, way better than it does right now. So I hope you like this. I hope you like the new update format. Let me know what else you like or don't like about the show, and I'm going to change it because I am not married to anything we do here. I only want to put out good, valuable content that you want to hear. So we'll see you next week. We got a set of amazing guests lined up. Can't wait to drop these episodes for you. And we'll be back next week with another update.
Another episode of Harmonious at Lunch in the books. I hope this episode made you think and you grabbed some actionable ideas to propel your business. Don't forget to like, comment your takeaways, and subscribe wherever you're listening so we can help more entrepreneurs just like you achieve harmony in their life and business. For cutting-edge tools that bring clarity to your people and processes, check out humanop.com to download our app today. See you next time.